Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Here in Florida, it is morning. And a cold front just passed through, and I'm happy to bring this experience to you, no matter where you are. If you're not subscribed already to Eat Your Backyard, please do so. Sometimes I do goofy things like this, which is, well, I'm down here every morning pretty much checking the surf anyway, going for a surf. Why not show you what's going on? Turning on the chat so people can comment. Yeah, let me know if it's very windy too. I try to avoid the windiness. I got to solve the problem of how to get the windiness out of the phone, probably an external microphone. All right, so look what we have been gifted here. Lots of shells. And you know, I love to look at plants and look at all the differences and identify them and categorize them. And you can do the same thing with shells or anything, of course. So let's see what we can find here. Just randomly placed. Ah, there it is. One of my favorites. We're going to do a impromptu shell education video. Hey, morning, Norma. There it is, a beautiful scallop. Now these come in a lot of different colors. I pride myself as somewhat of a scallop shell connoisseur, and we like to find the pink ones as the highest order scallop shell. But there are lots of other scallop shells. I'm going to call this a keeper. Now the rule of thumb I generally go with is no more than what I can fit in my hand. So, you know, they say don't be greedy. Oh, here's another championship one. Hey, Rob G. Welcome. Good morning. Shout out to Plant City. How are those strawberries growing over there, friend? Okay. Look at this. Now, I'm not sure if you know what this is. Maybe I'll ask. We've got several on the stream now. You know what that is? That black shiny shell. That is a jingle shell. And the reason they call that a jingle shell is because if you get several of them and you shake them around, they make a jingling sound. And what you do is you find about 100 of these or 1,000 of these, and you put them all in a container. And I guess you jingle them around Christmas time. Good shell. So we got a jingle shell, we got a scallop. We're scoring. You know. Look, it's just an ocean of shells. I'm going to try to block the wind with body. We've got this strong north wind. To get the good ones, you really got to get in there. Ha 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 ha! Look, look. There it is. That's a winner. That's a score. Yeah, if you're gonna find sea glass, this is about the spot to do it. Hey, oh, I just saw a piece right there. Oh, it was right there, within my grasp. Alright, we're getting a little, I mean, it was 6 inches from my hand. And then just in an instant, gone. I mean, you said sea glass, and I saw sea glass. Ha ha ha. Here's another good one. Usually call these nutmegs for whatever reason. I'm sure that's not the scientific name. That's a keeper. Oh yeah, 3-year-old with the shells. I don't know that there's anything I'd rather do than hang out with a 3-year-old and hunt for shells. What do you want to do for a living? What do you want to be? just want to basically hunt for shells with 3-year-olds. I don't think I'd ever come home from work and feel like, what was it all for? Well, you know, sometimes you just have to come to terms. Many philosophical lessons with the shell hunting. Terms that you're not going to be the one who scores that sweet piece of sea glass today. But what this normally changes into is you're the one who's just going to stay down here and search and search and search. Holy moly! A second one! You gotta be kidding me. Shell Bonanza. I think the live stream has got the mojo going. Oh, hey guys, good morning. Got some neighbors walking by. Always like to see that. Get the same idea. Pine needles basket. Norma, that is really cool. I'd never heard of a pine needles basket, but I'm instantly interested in that idea. And I'm guessing you weave them? Hey, snail. There's another one. Beauty. Alright, so the collection is good. And you'll If I could find a piece of sea glass right now, it would make my heart happy. Instantly. Alright, that's it. I'm going home, getting the snorkel, and I'm getting in and finding sea glass. Oh, that is so cool. I'll tell you what, Norma, my email address is in the About section on the EYBY page. If you want to shoot me an email with any kind of directions at all, nothing complicated, just like, you know, grab the pine needles and kind of do this kind of thing. I'll go ahead and make a video of me trying to make a pine needles basket, but I love that idea. One of the things I've been also thinking about, coincidentally, is the idea of sea glass? No. Is making a hat out of a Puerto Rican hat palm, which is, if you know about the Puerto Rican hat palms, they're beautiful. They're like a greenish, grayish kind of color in the palm, a lot like the Bismarck. And, I'm sorry, I thought I had one there just when you thought you had one. So the Puerto Rican hat palm has these very beautiful fronds on it, but hey, you see what I see? You see it? I'm going to do the angel sing. Ah, see the sunrise through the sea glass? There it is. Okay. See, I've done a thing or two in my life, but you know, just this right here is such a big part of it. Something about it so relaxing. I recommend, whether it's you know, if you got a beach near you, or you just have whatever is near you that's a tranquil spot, you can go and just kind of tune in, space out, search for rocks, do whatever before you start the day. I always recommend that. It sure helps me. Oh, and the other thing I've been doing is not watching the news. And that's like the best multivitamin you could ever take, it seems like. Just stop taking the fear pill. The news. What's the news? They never cover this. Alright. Because, of course, this does not make you afraid. Although there's plenty of things to be afraid of right there if you want to be afraid. But yeah, slightly Stacy. Totally agree. Yep, just kind of clear out the, reset the counter to 0. That's what I always say. Just reset that counter to 0. Let's start base 0. Work up from there. And coming down to the edge of the water is a great way to do it. Any water. Edge of a fountain, a pool. I find cities to be very meditative, depending on the city, of course, and the circumstance. I've also been mugged in a city, so that wasn't very meditative. That was meditative in a certain way. Stick up. Oh, thanks, Norma. Yeah, I really am happy that you jump on and join us. It's more fun when it's a bunch of us here. Oh, good. Way to go. Awesome, Stacy. Yeah, go for the walk. I always think, too, like I say this about myself all the time, that I got to remember that sometimes I need to get behind myself and push. It's one of these, like, corny sayings or whatever, but I found it to be useful. Not that I always need pushing, but, yeah, it's easy to get jaded. It's been close to 95 degrees every day for the last many, many months. And, when it drops down to this temperature and there's a little rain going and it's windy, the mind just starts creating for me all the reasons why maybe I could just sleep in. Just but I rarely choose it. I find that I wake up now about 5:45, 5:30 in the morning, and I am awake. There is no off switch. I've learned to just get up and go. Like turn that kind of slight anxiety, whatever. You could call it anxiety. You could also call it roller coaster excitement. That's another thing that I like to think about, which is that this is a very stoic idea, stoic philosophy, but I find it to be really helpful. Which is that you decide how you feel about a thing. So, if you look at the feeling of, I'm looking here for the free dash. I've got corny philosophical ideas, but more importantly, there is sea glass waiting to be harvested, so let's keep our eye on the prize. Oh, I dropped that sea glass. I almost lost it. Almost lost it. If you love something, let it go. If it loves you, it won't get washed into the ocean and destroyed. Yeah, so the feeling of anxiety, let's say, and the feeling that you get before you ride a roller coaster, excitement, let's say, extreme excitement, are the same feeling, I would say. It's really the difference is how you choose to view them. If you choose to view them like it's something, oh, look at that. There you go. Get it going, buddy. He's looking for breakfast. This guy's found breakfast. Sand fleas. We're going to move on to a fresh pile. Actually, I've got my surfboard up in the truck. I hope nobody steals it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nothing like chickens or cats to greet you in the morning. My grandmother, when I was a child, we had many, many cats. I grew up on a farm area, about 100 acres. Small farm, really, but my grandfather had retired and he had this beautiful farm. He dropped the glass again. Look, I dropped the glass and it fell right next to another piece of glass. Yeah, so people would drop off cats because we were out in a rural area. They would just drive along and you'd see a cat go out the side door. It's like, we got another cat. But so we had many cats. They all lived in the barn. And they were mouse cats, meaning they fought the rats and the mice in the barn and performed an important service. But my grandmother fed them every day. Brought out a couple of big pans of cat food. And so it was like the Pied Piper of, 15, 20 cats, all with their tails pointed straight up in the air, meowing gently, following her like the Pied Piper. We always used to call her the Pied Piper. And the funny thing is, they would go to Florida for the winter. That's how I kind of discovered Florida, as I would come down here and stay with them over spring break. And those cats would fend for themselves. And in the wintertime, going by that barn, and so you'd hear in there, there were rats. That I think there were 10-pound rats in that garage. And these cats were taking care of business. There's like a war, a haunted house of cat-rat warfare at all times. So yeah, if nothing else, going out feeding the hens, going out and walking on the beach, doing whatever it is that's in your kind of local zone, just to get you back connected with what's real. And nothing could be more real than what's directly under your feet. Dig them in, get a good connection. My friend the Illusion would say, get a strong electromagnetic connection to spaceship Earth, or as I would say, just go for a walk. Oh, okay. We have something of a sea glass bonanza, and I'm going to leave the shell. We're going to trade up. Leave the nutmeg, and I'm going to pick up that glass. Yeah, stay connected with nature. And by the way, I'm not sure we have to draw any kind of line on where nature stops and the rest starts. I think it's all nature. Thought about this a bit. But, and you know, what is natural? I mean, your nature. This beach is nature, easy to see, but is like a city nature? I think it is. We made it. Couldn't be more natural, unless we're unnatural. And if we're unnatural, then I don't know. So I had thought maybe I'd go for a surf. And I'm not seeing one other person out in this ocean. Good morning. Yeah, I'm going to paddle out there. About a week ago, I did the same kind of thing, but I didn't stream first. But it was like this, you know, waves, kind of lonely morning, a little bit gray. I paddled out there, and I'll be damned if after catching one wave, about an 8-foot shark didn't come right up next to me. And I mean, he was moving. So that was like the best cup of coffee you could ever get. Talk about the difference between excitement and anxiety. Now look at these little sandpipers. Hey, sandpiper, you were on the internet, little dude. Yeah, you think I might give you something to eat? Little known fact that those guys will eat. If you can get a very small little crab or coquina shell, they'll eat it up. And the other thing is, they are competitors. Look at this guy down here. And here he comes. We're gonna witness a full-on battle. Oh, look at him hunch his back. See how he gets all puffed up? Yeah, he came in with his whole body puffed out, like a puffy little cute fuzzball. But he was mad, seemed like. And that other, he like asserted himself, charged right down at that other one, to which he kind of noticed him, and then away he went. Slightly Stacy, Sebastian Inlet in the 80s. Matt Keckley, Sebastian Inlet, you're saying? That is like a slice of time surfing Sebastian Inlet when First Peak was still First Peak. There's a wave down there, by the way, for all of those who don't surf down at Sebastian Inlet. There's a wave down there called First Peak, which is right next to the jetty, and they ended up rebuilding the jetty, and it changed the dynamics of the bottom a bit, and now First Peak is really not anything like what it used to be. But good news is second, third, fourth, fifth peaks are all seem to be doing quite well, and the beach breaks are still good. So really that's just like, you know, this interesting idea of, this is an Alan Watts idea. I'm actually reading a book by Alan Watts over on One Step Zen, reading a chapter out of one of his books. Really cool English philosopher guy from the 60s. Oh, sorry, I got distracted, but let's stay in the game here. Yeah, well, anyway, I'll keep the Alan Watts stuff for the One Step Zen channel so as not to get too philosophical on these morning journeys. But for some reason, these morning walks tend to make me feel very philosophical, make me want to think about things a little bit more before I get started. Maybe just be a little bit more thoughtful. Get my head in the game. Okay. So I think it's about time to get out in that ocean. Oh, it's cool here. There's a really shallow sandbar right here, but a nice deep trough. See that current moving through? It's right where the big boys sit, the big snook. That'll be nice. I could definitely get a few waves out there. Yeah, well, I'm in eastern central Florida, about even with Orlando. Good question. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna find a wide open part of the beach. Check out the haul. I threw some of it back. I quickly exceeded the capacity of my hand. Oh, good question. Asking about, is this where the coconut palms are in the video? There are various spots. I've got some videos where I've videoed some coconut palms a little farther south, some down towards the inlet. Other places. I'd say 3 pieces of glass is a good day. The brown glass, you know, that's really the highest prized type. Okay. There you go. Oh, the shame of it. Oh, the shame of it to have somebody come and show me exactly what I was contemplating right in my face. Should I go surfing? No, I'm going surfing. So now I gotta go. Taught by babes, taught by a teenager who looks like her, 20-year-old guy. Get in the game is what this is telling me. All right, well, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. I hope you get wonderful things happening for you today. I'm gonna leave this one there and just bring this one. Go ahead and live stream one more time, but I'm also starting to release content again, so go ahead and check out my video releases as they come out, as well as the live streams every day. I'm doing a month of live streams to see how it goes. It's been very interesting, actually. Thanks, and have a great day. And thanks, Norma.